I apparently said something wrong.
Well, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're arrogant,
I don't
and
even know
and
what you're
it's
talking about, but so you'll need to explain what I'm being arrogant about.
when you talked about how you dismissed the Notre Dame championship game with Ohio State.
What?
You dismissed
You
the
may want
Notre
to
Dame
rewind. You may want
effort.
to rewind and listen. I didn't say, I've not said anything during this entire
You
live
said the
stream
game
about
was over basically, and they got two meaningless touchdowns, right?
Indiana versus Notre Dame.
No,
That's what I
no.
was talking about. Indiana versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame was leading 27-3. Indiana scored 2 touchdowns in the final 90 seconds of the game. Those were 2 meaningless touchdowns. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Notre
No,
Dame.
no, that was a competitive game. Ohio State was clearly the better team, but shoot, Notre Dame was within a score. And obviously, Ohio State was down to a third down play. And if they don't convert, they're punting the ball with whatever, 2 minutes left. So, no, I did not say that about the national championship game. We were talking about Indiana. The whole conversation was about Indiana. And then I was talking about how I perceived their game against Notre Dame as not being competitive.
Okay, well then I don't have a complaint then.
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying, Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm telling you now, I think Notre Dame's going to be very, very good this year coming up. And this guy CJ Carr is the real deal. I don't know. Did you get to watch the Notre Dame spring game?
I did not.
Have you heard of CJ Carr?
Oh, yeah. I know who CJ Carr is. Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be, you know, I think he's going to grow up really fast, and it's what they're going to need. But I think he's up to it just by based on what I saw from him in that spring game. He's going to make if he gets to play instead of Angeli, he's going to wind up making their run game much more effective because he can throw it and he can throw it deep and he can throw it deep and accurate. So I'm really hoping, this last year was a growing up year for Notre Dame. They got their lumps and bruises, even though, they only lost the one game until the championship. They were a very young team. And, that championship game, I don't think Ohio State scores 31 points on them had they had their 4 starters, which was Botelho, Traore at the ends on the Vipers, and Mills at the middle defensive tackle, as well as Benjamin Morrison. I mean, I don't think they get 31 points if those guys are playing for Notre Dame in this last year. But now this year, I mean, their running back again is a powerhouse full of kids, and their quarterback, if it's CJ Carr, and it should be, and then Kenny Minchie should be number 2, and Angeli, unfortunately, he needs to find a team with a group of 5 kind of a team where he can play a vanilla offense and he'll be very good, but he's just not championship material. So when I see CJ Carr, I see the potential for Notre Dame to do a lot of good things. What do you think?
Well, all I know about Carr is his, recruiting rankings and what people have said about how good he is, much like a Bryce Underwood or a Tavian St. Clair at Ohio State and I usually do watch the Notre Dame spring game, but did not see this one. Now, Steve Angeli, the only time I really watched him play was against Penn State and against Ohio State, correct? One of those 2 games, he
It
had
was
like
Penn State when he came in right before the half and got
yeah,
him a field goal.
he had
But
like
I
a
mean,
7 for 8 drive and led the team down the field. Yeah, he's not a dynamic quarterback, but certainly based on what I've seen and what I know about him, I would think that a lot of teams could do much worse.
I agree.
Not elite teams, but he could go play for Virginia Tech or somebody.
Right.
All right,
All
Joe.
right. Yeah,
I
I
appreciate
guess
you
that's it.
calling.
All right, Mark. I'm sorry for that mix
Oh,
up.
that's all
I
right.
thought you were talking about Notre Dame and you were talking about Indiana.
All right. I'll end the phone call, then I'll trash Notre Dame. Okay.
Okay, but
All right, Joe. Appreciate it.
see ya.